On Wednesday afternoon, hundreds of supporters of President Trump gathered in front of the County Administration Center in San Diego and in a separate protest in Santee. Police presence there was sparse as the events ended peacefully. But a similarly sized protest in November in support of the Black Lives Matter movement, which was also peaceful, was met with dozens of police in the streets. To civil rights activist Shane Harris, the disparate enforcement for different causes is typical of law enforcement in San Diego and across the country.
Agencies across the country, not even just in D.C. And federally, you see sort of this lax approach because they're white, because they're not going to be as dangerous. They don't seem as dangerous. We're not as concerned about them because of the color of their skin. And I think that you still see biased policing and biased enforcement. I've been saying it throughout the pandemic. You've seen this across the country, and it is showing itself right now in America's capital.
That has Harris questioning whether law enforcement reacts uniformly differently to these two groups.
How these protesters, or protesters as they say they are, got to the second floor of the U.S. House, breaking in windows, sitting in the same seat that Speaker Pelosi sits in and governs her meetings from. How did that happen without strong oversight and enforcement planned just days before what we all knew would be dangerous?
Harris called for investigations at the federal and county level into policing of protests. In a statement, the San Diego Sheriff's Department, which was present at the protests yesterday, told KPBS that it adjusts its response to protests based on intelligence it receives, and that when there are opposing sides present at the same event, there is a potential for confrontations, and that just because personnel are not visible does not mean there is not an operational plan or deputies available to respond as needed. Max Rivlin-Nadler, KPBS News.